Hi, I'm Eric Grant. In this video, we're going to discuss the brand new foot controller with heel pad. This is definitely a game changer. It doesn't cost much money, and you should get one if you don't have one, because it's just going to be more comfortable for sewing. It can be used with the Sailrite Ultrafeed sewing machines with the WorkerB Power Pack System. It must have a WorkerB Power Pack System to utilize this foot controller. And it can be used with a sewing machine in an industrial tabletop, or your sewing machine, whether it be the LSZ or LS, in a carrying case. And if you have an industrial tabletop or the compact tabletop, we also sell a fixing pad, which will make it stationary so you don't have to find your foot control on the floor. And it mounts onto this, and it's so comfortable to sew with. I've been using it for over a year now, and I love it. So this is the older foot control, and obviously it operates the machine fairly well, but you can see even my heel is not on the ground when I push down all the way, which is a common problem, and that's why we designed the new one. And without a fixing plate, even under an industrial table, sometimes I have to find the foot control because it obviously moves around a little bit.
In this short chapter, we're going to demonstrate how the foot control with heel rest works.
Okay, so here's the new WorkerB foot control with heel rest, which is much more comfortable than the old one. What I typically do, is I just leave my foot on it like this. So I'm not sewing right now, and when I decide to sew under power, my foot never comes off of the heel rest, and obviously unless I have to adjust my fabric or anything like that and get up. But this is so much more comfortable, and you don't have to worry about foot fatigue with this new foot control. Definitely worth the money. Definitely worth the money. Big difference.
Now we're going to mount the fixing plate to the Ultrafeed industrial sewing table.
Now let's mount the fixing plate on our industrial tabletop and show you how it works. The fixing plate comes with an adjustable foot, but it's not necessary in the Sailrite Ultrafeed industrial tabletop. That's the one with this bar. What I like to do is I like to mount it in the back hole slots so that it has a really nice firm area that supports it well. I usually put it right below the needle area of the sewing machine, but it can go left or right based on your preferences. So we're going to put it in this slot and this slot. So I'm going to move this aside, and I'm going to grab one of the bolts. It's a little tricky to get it underneath the treadle bar, but it can be done, and hold it in place and see that square area. Make sure that it fits in the groove like so, and then push it to the side there. And now we want to keep our hand under there and put the plate on so that the prongs over here are up. With my finger still holding the bolt, we'll put a washer on top, and then we'll screw on a nut by hand until it's all the way down like that, and then you can release your finger. Then we're going to do the exact same thing with the next bolt on this side. Make sure the square of the bolt is in the slot, put the washer on top, and then thread this on also by hand until it is snug. And we will push this so that it's centered. I like it just about like that, so you have about the same distance here as you do here. And now we're going to take a 14 millimeter socket, or a 9/16 will work as well, and tighten the nuts down securely. And you can use a crescent wrench if you don't have a socket. Then this foot control has two prongs here and here, and they fit into these finger areas. So I'm going to push it, I'm going to put it flat on here ahead of those areas, and then I'm going to push it back so that they go into the fingers. Okay, once that's done, we'll take the thumb screw and we will screw it in until it is all the way down, and now your foot control is in a position. It won't be hard to find it because it's always there. Okay, now I have a comfortable position to sew with as my heel rests beautifully on this, and it makes a huge difference. As I said earlier, I love it.
There are times you may want to become portable again, so we're going to show you how to remove the foot control with heel rest from the fixing plate now.
Now to release it, what you want to do is you want to release the thumb screw, but don't take it out all the way. And then we don't want to pull up here because you'll break the tangs off. You want to actually push it towards you like that, lift it here at the heel rest, and it comes right off. Okay, and then to put it back on, just put it on like this, slide it back into those fingers, and then tighten this down again.
Next, we'll show you how to mount it to the Ultrafeed compact sewing table, if you have that.
The compact table has a floor brace that looks like this, and in this situation we do want to use this adjustable foot. We'll screw it into the bottom of the fixing plate, and I'll thread it up so it goes up, and then we can adjust it once it's mounted. So I'm going to thread it so that it's up pretty high so it doesn't hit the floor a little bit more. And I'm going to put it right here towards the center of the bracket. And so that means I need to get one of these nuts on the underside. I'm going to lift up this side of it and put a board, doesn't matter what board you have, just so that you can get to the underside of this brace. And then I'm going to take one of my bolts, and I'm going to use my two hands to push it into the slot and then make sure the square is in the slot. Then I'm going to hold it with one hand, put the bracket on top, put the washer on top, and put one of the nuts in place. And I like to push it back as far as I can so that it has more support. So I have this side supported now, and I have enough room to get my fat fingers under there. And I'll do the exact same thing. Bolt up through there and hold it with my fingers like that, and do the exact same thing we did on the other side. I'm going to lock these down with a 14mm socket or a crescent wrench, or a 9/16 will work as well, socket. And now I can remove the board that I have here, and then I can adjust this pad or foot until it comes in contact with the floor right there. Now it's nice and solid. We put this over here, we push it back so that the tangs are in the fingers, and then we tighten it down just like we did the other one. And it's removed in the exact same way.
As you can see, Sailrite never stops improving the Sailrite Ultrafeed sewing machines. Order your Sailrite WorkerB Foot Control with heel rest and the fixing plate from Sailrite today.